So what is up, YouTube? As you know, this is going to be me breaking down how we did 16K in 10 days from 5 YouTube videos. Going to be a full breakdown, no gatekeeping. I'm going to start off by, showing you the YouTube strategy that we use. I'm basically going to be explaining every single video that we made and the role of the video, because everything is strategy. We don't do random stuff, right? The strategy, why we made every single video, the exact funnel we used, even the exact conversion mechanisms that we use, from the landing page to the VSL to the post booking page to the emails to the everything, right? We're gonna go through everything. There's a lot of shit to go through, right? A lot of shit to go through. So yeah, let's just get right into it, man. So for proof or clarity purposes, these are the numbers. 16K revs, 8K cash, 27 bookings, and 96% show up rate. But one thing that we did kind of quote unquote struggle with this offer was there was a lot of people lying. Not a lot, but there was a couple people lying on their applications. That's why we had a really high number of down sells. But that's not necessarily an issue. So let's just get right into it. First, let's get into the YouTube. Now, before I show you explain the videos, I'm gonna show you what were some of our advantages, right? YouTube is all about strategy. Like, it really is, right? So first thing we realized when we were doing research is all the other guys in the niche are so theoretical. They're so do this, do this. Most of them don't even edit their videos. They just get in front of a camera and get on a whiteboard. And one thing you need to understand with YouTube, you can't do what everyone else is doing. You just can't. Like, it doesn't work that way, right? So immediately we knew that we're gonna have to take an advantage. We're gonna have to use that to our advantage and make things more cinematic. Now, that's where I'll give this client his props. He has a really good vision when it comes to that in terms of his ideas, even his teaching style, right? His unique angle or unique method. He calls it soul food Arabic in comparison to fast food Arabic, which everyone else teaches, right? So just being able to position ourselves differently, right? You need to figure out what that gap is, and there's a lot of gaps. It could be, again, it could be your race, right? Because there's not a lot of black guys from the UK teaching Arabic, so that alone made him stand out, right? There's not a. Think of it like this. I say this. I give this example a lot. You see, when you see an Asian guy who's jacked and into fitness posting content, they're always doing well in terms of their following and their content virality, right? Because it's rare to see. So even your race could be your advantage. So you need to figure out what your advantages are from your story, from anything, right? Or just in the niche, right? It could be that a lot of people are making short videos. You could, boom, bang out a long course, find that angle and then make your strategy around it. So I'm explaining every single video. So this video was a simple video. It was a how-to video. Obviously, we knew we were starting our new channel, so I tried to make videos that would rank in search, because when you make videos for search, I talk about it all the time, right? It's just easier. Like, everything becomes easier. It's like running free ads. I'm going to explain that. But this video didn't do as well as I expected. In fact, it did really bad before we posted this video. This video boosted this a lot. And because there was a very high search traffic for Arabic letters or Arabic alphabet. But what I failed to realize in hindsight is that most of it is kids' videos, right? I didn't factor that in. Most of it is kids' videos, right? So we got basically like no no traction from search because it's just kids videos, as I said. So then we made this video, which was the full course. This was also a thing where I saw the search traffic, and we just made the video, and boom, this was really well. Like, in this video, like, as I said, one thing that really took advantage of was being cinematic. Even the hook for this video was really, really good. Like, I scripted it out. There was like, we showed like a manuscript of the Quran, and we like, this manuscript, da 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 da, da 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 da. I can't go through the script, like, it's been a minute, but basically it was very cinematic, very hooky, and that just immediately, for the first couple of days, obviously it didn't pick up as usual. That's why I always tell people not to panic. But after like the third day, it sprung up, and it's been going up since then, right? This was just another, how-to video, obviously, because it was New Year. We just had to capitalize on the 2026 thing, which is why we made this video. And then this is just a client interview. We had to do this because most people don't know us, so we have to. That's one thing. Again, you can't imagine that people know you on YouTube. You cannot think that people know you, right? So you have to assume that people don't and give them every reason to trust you. And obviously, a client review is nothing more than a client review. Now, this video is one of my favorite videos we made on the channel. How did I get the idea for this video? Literally, I think I made a reel about this. Like, this hook. If you're on YouTube, people usually say, give me 9 minutes, I will save you 10 years, right? Or, people say, give me 54 seconds, right? Dan Martell's made this very popular. So my client wanted to make this guy wanted to make a video about 5 Arabic mistakes, and I'm like, bro, ain't no way in the big 26, right? I'm making a video for my client talking about 5 mistakes. There's just no way, right? So I sat on that idea for a couple of weeks, and in one of my, mandatory doom scroll sessions, the 5 minutes you got to doom scroll before you lock in. I saw a video on TikTok that used this as the hook. Give me 540 seconds, and I will save you 10 years of. It was in a self-development niche, right? Which is really close to the language learning niche, and the fact that it's not what you get is not really tangible. It's not like making money online. So I thought that was really good, and I have never seen that on YouTube. So I just used that hook as the title, and obviously, boom, we got a banger. The thumbnail is also a proven format from Dan Martell, and I just literally replaced his face, Nano Banana, and yeah, that's how we got the thumbnail. Right? This one is really good. This is from him. So this is after the launch, actually, but this is one of his ideas. But one thing very special about this video is the fact that this was our best performing video when it comes to metrics. Like click-through rate highest, watch time highest, like rate highest, comment rate highest. Everything was the highest about this video, but this is our worst performing video when it comes to numbers. And that just goes to tell you that this is a good video, right? Because the numbers don't lie. So you might have a banger video. Just because YouTube doesn't push it doesn't mean it's not a good video. So this is a video we're going to make again. Why? Because the numbers don't lie. We're going to make it because we know this is a new format, but it's also proven, right? Because we've seen the numbers. So we're going to make it again, and the next one is going to go viral. Hold my word, right? So let's get into so in terms of the funnel, we also had other channels, Instagram, but the Instagram wasn't really, the lead quality was not the strongest. Even like the volume, we had a lot of followers, but they didn't really convert. Mostly because I think we didn't post consistently. As you can see, like only 40 posts. So the posts did well, but like it wasn't consistent. They weren't getting nurtured. We did do a story sequence. I'm going to go into that, a launch sequence. Got that from one of the GOATs, shout out Moise. And let's go into how everything played out in terms of launching. So this was the funnel, right? When we started out, we didn't have the program ready, right? We didn't even know we were going to make a program, right? So I just took that, once you call it intuition, and like, let's just collect as many contacts as possible for when we want to launch, right? And we also had a free school community. So I knew we were going to launch, but I didn't know how soon. That's the thing, right? So we collected the wait list, and let's check out the questions, right? So one thing you need to know when you're making a wait list is you need to start with a leading question. You don't necessarily want to start with sales questions that are going to give them sales resistance, right? So we just asked, what would learning Arabic unlock for you? And we don't want them to get too creative. So we kind of put drop downs, same thing, drop downs. And then we asked this very important question. So this is like a pre-qualifier. Have you ever invested in Arabic programs before? If so, what happened? They put that. And then we had a drop down as well. Students who achieve mastery with us invest 1 to 2K for the complete 12-month program. Which best describes your situation? Put a drop down here as well with 3 options, right? So that really gives us an idea in terms of when we were dialing the wait list. And then after all that, you get the contact, right? So this form is not it's not the best form. Ideally, you want to get the contact before you ask for the financial qualification, just so it saves. But this form software was not the best, so that's why we didn't do it. I'm going to show you how we did in the next one. And as you can see, but the conversion rate for the form was not the worst. Like, it was really good. I don't know what the KPIs should be, but it's really good. We had a 20% completion rate, right? So every 5 people who saw it, 1 person filled the form. So that was for the wait list, right? We got a bunch of submissions, 140 something. Not a lot of them were qualified, obviously, but you get the point. And then we move on to the school, which is the second place we kind of took them to. The school is almost at 1,000 members, and we knew, like, if we were going to convert, we need to nurture and get as many touch points with these people as possible, right? So one of the things we did was have weekly group calls, right? So the creator would just hop on group calls, 30 minutes every Sunday, 30 minutes to an hour every Sunday, and just talk to these people, build those relationships, right? We also put some useful resources and templates in the group to make them feel like this is so valuable. And we also use the group to do market research. We would always ask questions in the group, like, what do you guys think about this? What do you guys think about this? What level are you guys in Arabic? So we get market research on how we were going to position our offer. And then after 3 months of nurturing these people, we decided to launch. And one thing that was really important that we did was we was going to launch the low ticket, right? We had 2 offers, low ticket and high ticket, right? So my client was still working a 9 to 5. So he don't want to take that risk and just go all in, right? So he wanted to just launch the low ticket, see how it does. And if we had done that, we probably wouldn't even have made like 2,000. He probably wouldn't have made 2,000, right? Because the low ticket was 200, right? So I just said, come on, man, it's too easy. Let's lock in. Let's go all in. I believe in myself. I know the work we've put in terms of nurturing and everything. You know, this online money stuff is numbers. It really is numbers. Like, you know the amount of views you're getting. You know the amount of students you have on your wait list. Literally, like, I think I even have a doc where I drew up, you know, the projections. I did project to do 20K from this launch, right? And we are gonna do, like, if I'm being honest, we are gonna still hit that number. It's just this is what we did in the first 10 days, right? Because it was a very intensive launch, like a Webby type of thing, right? So we still got a bunch of people on the wait list that are still going to convert. So we are going to reach the number. So it's, as I said, it's all about numbers. You have the amount of people in the wait list, the amount of people in the school community. You know what your offer costs. You just back project the numbers, and pretty easily, right, you can know how much you're going to make, right? And that's what we did. And, you know, he trusted me because I was confident in myself and my ability. And we launched, and alhamdulillah, we're here, right? So we did two, like, launch campaigns. We had an email reminder and IG story. So the email reminder was for the people in the waitlist and the school because we have their email. So if you're doing a free school community, you need to have one of the questions to entry is what's your best email so you can capture their email, because I don't think school is going to give you that. So yeah, email reminder campaigns, IG stories starting the same day, I think. Tease, break limiting belief. This one we had a lead magnet to go to the school for people who weren't already there. We had a testimonial on the third day, a testimonial on the third day as well. Then we had a reminder on the fourth day. Then we had a Q&A poll to like break limiting beliefs on IG. And then we launched, right? And this is what we launched. This is where we took them to. It was a VSL page. I really built all this with Claude. So that's crazy. Like, bro, AI is actually ridiculous. We built all this with Claude. Obviously gave him the VSL. He filmed it. That was really good. And yeah, so it's step one, step two. Step one, watch the video. Step two, apply it, right? So this is really good. I want to show you guys the form. Remember what I said in the beginning? You don't want to lead with, what's it called? You don't want to lead with, what's the word? Like, things that are going to give people sales resistance, right? So what we started with was, what's the main reason you want to study with Abu Hafsa and not anyone else? So obviously this qualifies people and also shows people who are serious. Obviously someone can have a good reason but not have the money, but like, no one is going to do this if they're not serious. No one is going to give an answer here if they're not serious. And then obviously we collected UTM so we could track where people were coming from, obviously. And then we just asked, how many hours per week can you dedicate to learning Arabic? All these are just like buffer questions. This data doesn't really matter to us. It's just, okay, we don't want to go immediately into the financial qualification. And then, as I said, then we collected contact, because after here, this is where the drop-off starts and the redirect starts, right? So I'm going to explain that. Then we had the first financial qualification. Arabic at this level requires time and investment. What best describes your situation, right? So this just lets us give a soft touch. You feel me? Get an idea of where they are financially, and then this is the main one. This is where the redirect happens. What investment are you prepared to make in your Arabic education? So if someone selects this, the form just submits and they get redirected to the second page. Then if they select any of these, they get to pick the Calendly. So the Calendly opens up and then they submit, right? So let me show you what, this is what the second page looks like, right? Again, did all this with Claude, really, right? Based on your application, this isn't the right program, so we're directing you to the 6 week one, which is the low ticket one. So this one, they just pay directly on the site, and we add them to the group. But for people who book, we did have a call confirmation page, so follow the steps to confirm your call. Watch this short video on how to prepare for the call. We had a call confirmation video. Then open your invitation and click I know the sender. This is pretty simple, pretty standard, post-booking page. If you don't have this stuff as a minimum on your post-booking page, you just need to, right? Because you need to, especially if it's B2C, bro, you need to assume everyone's dumb and just give them as many pointers as possible. So we showed them literally what the email would look like and asked them to go do it. Then we had some breakout questions as well, like FAQs. And then also we put our case study that we had. So he's been teaching for a while offline. So he was really struggling to get these people online because it was Ramadan and, everyone's busy with family. But this one we got way before Ramadan. So that's really good. So we were able to leverage that. And then what happens is, as soon as they book, we get a Discord notification to our Discord. with our setter. Well, I think I should blur this guy's info. I'm gonna do that. But yeah, we see exactly where they booked from. So this guy booked from school, from our launch date post, and we see exactly that. We see what his budget was. We see what he says about his mindset. That was the first touch qualifier. And from here, our closer, not our setter actually, because we didn't have a setter, our closer immediately gets them on WhatsApp, calls them to confirm the meeting and start to build some rapport with them. It's a Muslim office, so like Muslims are, Assalamu alaikum, Assalamu alaikum, everybody's happy, right? You just know that, you're speaking to someone. And we also, as soon as they do that, we also had automation emails. So they confirmation email, a limiting belief email, breaking limiting belief. So this is in the 2 to 3 day period, 1 to 3 day period, sorry. So depending on how long it booked, this would kind of shuffle around. A testimonial email, a 24-hour reminder, and a 1-hour reminder. And then obviously they hop on a sales call and they collect cash. But what happens if they don't collect cash? Remember, I told you there's a lot of people who lied about their stuff. So we also went back and we downsold a lot of people to this 201. That's how we're able to collect not a lot of cash, but like just around 2K in terms of people who downsold. But yeah. Now, so what we decided to do was, the people who bought, we were going to also give them a bonus. So we were going to give them the low ticket one as a bonus and wait for this one. So we're going to wait for this to finish before we let them in here. So that was really the strategy, and we were able to do that successfully. I think we're at the 4th week, and then we're going to do this again. So this is really the strategy in terms of conversion. I don't really know what more I should be breaking down, really, because these videos just really did the most for us, right? You need to have a full course video. And as I said, my strategy is pretty simple with YouTube, right? You need to lay out the foundations. Once you lay out the foundations, right? And for us, the foundations are a full course video and this. Once you lay this out, you can just keep testing stuff. You can just keep testing stuff that's going to make you viral, stuff that's going to bring you that attention, find ways to hijack attention and bring it to your roots, right? I will show you guys my, I think I have it here, right? Let me go 1 second. Yeah, this is what I call the YouTube garden. It's pretty simple, right? In reality, these are only 2 videos you want people to watch, right? Your full course and your client review. This is going to sell them on the vehicle, and this is going to sell them on you as the driver. And everything else is just a way to bring attention back to these 2 videos, right? And that's what we did. Everyone who closed, everyone who piffed, watched these course videos, right? So it is pretty simple, right? You need to find what you're going to use as your quote-unquote native YouTube VSL, and bring everyone back to it, right? And also the testimonials do play a really good part in showing that, okay, I'm not just chatting, but I actually have student results. But one thing I would say, the most important thing, was us taking advantage of our advantages, of our angles, right? This angle really did a lot. We were able to separate ourselves from the rest of the other guys, because most people just do simple Arabic, he calls it fast food Arabic. So being able to separate yourself with an angle is going to take you really far. Being able to separate yourself with a style, and it doesn't need to be your style, right? There's so many things. It could be you as a person. I think I have another board where I spoke about this. Yeah, how to make a better video, right? Yeah. It could be, you or your unique mechanism. It could be your packaging, have better packaging than the rest of them, have better thumbnails, have better titles, have better quality of information, get questions from other people's comments, answer FAQs. The length of your video could also be something, your storytelling, the visuals. So we just basically did all of this, right? Because I did a bunch of research when making these videos and scripting them, and we just took advantage of everything we could. Sorry. And we were able to print. So that's really good for this video. And obviously CTA, if you want me to do this for you, click the link in the description. If you want a YouTube audit, DM me on IG the word audit, and that's free actually, so we'll sort you for that. And yeah guys, it's been really good. If you guys want any specific questions on the process,